Welcome to Q&A Saturday, a weekly series that's not so much about the gameplay, but instead is about your questions and my answers to them. Here we go. What other games are you most excited for besides CoD 2019? Or what other games do I plan on playing on release? Not a whole lot I'm holding my breath for. Of course, last time I covered some stuff I'm looking forward to that aren't upcoming games, like getting back into World War II, Apex Season 2, trying out Destiny 2, a whole lot of 2 apparently. As for upcoming games, I was actually getting pretty excited for Borderlands 3 until it was confirmed to be on Epic for the first 6 months, and didn't really care after that. I did see some other people asking about Borderlands 3 as well. Yeah, I was starting to really look forward to it. I played a fair amount of Borderlands 2 on PC, skipped over the pre-sequel. I was never crazy into the franchise or anything, but it's a fun, casual game to play with people. I knew some friends who'd be into it, and was thinking it was going to be a lot of fun. And then the Epic Store claimed it. I know that isn't the end of the world, if you're like, well, who fucking cares, you can still play it. But my reason for disliking it isn't that I think it's spyware or not liking Fortnite. There's a big mix of things. It's not even that I'm trying to boycott the anti-consumer practice of buying up exclusives instead of developing their own for their platform, or even the big list of things people often bring up comparing it to Steam. Mainly, it's that I'd want to own the game on Steam in the long run. I don't know how transferring my game over or playing it with people on Steam would work. And also, Steam Wallet money is easier to spend. It doesn't feel like real money because I can just sell some skins I got from the old days of CSGO betting. And that's betting on pro matches, by the way, where the house doesn't take a cut, because that's fun, and I got pretty good at it. I'm not talking about gambling on a wheel, hey guys, I just found this new site, CSGO Lotto shit. Two very different things. Anyway, Epic Games kind of took the wind out of those sails. I'll see if I still care about Borderlands when next April rolls around. Depends on how fun CoD 2019 is, I guess. Aside from that, I thought Cyberpunk looked pretty cool. I don't pay that close attention to new game news, gotta be honest. I'll see what gets talked about at E3, that should be coming up. I am somewhat interested in hearing more about a potential Destiny 3. That's not even really being talked about yet, I don't think. But same thing I was saying in the previous video about how I always thought I'd like it. Played a bunch of both Destiny betas, but it always launched in September, and between school and CoD a month later, I never had the time. And yes, I saw plenty of you Destiny fans come out of the woodwork in the comments on the last video. Oh yeah, I suppose I'm also looking forward to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Even though I don't have a Switch and was never planning on playing it, I'm low-key excited to just watch someone else play it, because I'm that much of a fucking loser, I guess, I don't know. I still keep up with all the games, even though I haven't owned one since Diamond and Platinum. That's about it though for upcoming games. CoD 2019 is indeed at the center of my attention. What do you think about your fellow STEM majors? Well, I guess big ups to you, my friends. I know the struggle. Keep it up. Proud of you. Thank you, my man. Glad you like the guides. Do you want the next CoD to have manual healing or go back to automatic? I think I prefer the manual healing very slightly, but I agree that a crutch like stim shot should be done away with, just to find a good middle ground for heal time. Either way, manual or automatic, it doesn't make a big difference to me. I wouldn't say it's a game changer. I like that manual gives you a bit more control over when you want to push the fight and when you decide to take cover, but I know from trying Modern Warfare 2 recently that automatic healing felt natural right away. I didn't even try to heal myself once. Apparently I've already been away from BO4 multiplayer long enough to have completely shaken that habit, so I can go either way on that, no big deal. Do you ever get bored of grinding for 100%? Nope, I get bored after hitting the 100%. If I found it boring, I wouldn't do it. And sometimes that is the case, like when level 1000 was a requirement in MW2, so I didn't do it. I think the keys to a not boring challenge grind is a good reward to look forward to, and good pacing of completing things as you go. For example, going through and using every weapon in the game, doing the camo challenges for the mastery camos, I find to be fun and rewarding. You're trying out new things, you're checking things off as you go, but getting a new calling card every 50 levels where all you're doing is grinding out regular XP, and there's no incentive to change up your playstyle in any way, not so much, that gets old. But no, 100%er isn't boring. I know it might be for some people, but you all know by now I love playing towards a goal. And maybe another reason I don't get bored is that I'm almost never paying full attention to the game when I'm playing alone. I always have something on the other screen, maybe a podcast in the background, some YouTube channels I follow, or if I run out of that, I'll find a show to watch. While I was grinding out all those World War II reticles, I went through all of Always Sunny, rewatched all of Seinfeld, got like 8 seasons into Curb Your Enthusiasm, rewatched various movies, also went through a bunch of Marvel movies that I didn't care enough to go see before Infinity War. Yeah, I gotta be multitasking if I'm playing CoD. It makes 2 unproductive activities, playing a game and watching a show, almost feel like a productive one. Like, yeah, I'm making progress in this game, and I'm becoming a more well-rounded individual who can understand all these pop culture references. If I were actually only playing Shipment 24/7 every day and doing nothing else at the same time, maybe I would go insane. If you go to a really quiet room and record complete silence, and you played that recording with the volume all the way up, would there be sound or music? I must admit, your question confuses me, good sir. It sounds like it's supposed to be something philosophical, like a tree falls in a forest and nobody's around type of thing. But it isn't really. If you recorded true silence, where there isn't any background noise that could be picked up, and you played that back, then there wouldn't be anything. Certainly no music. There would be noise from the microphone and the speakers you're using, unless you had theoretically perfect equipment, but that doesn't exist. So even from the fact that they're electronic devices, there's current traveling through them, so there'd be some white noise from that. But otherwise, it would be silent. Did I not get the question? You can let me know. If you had the choice, would you give each CoD game a 4-year life cycle, like having 3 of them and then a break year? Well, oopsie doopsie, looks like we've actually maybe reverted to a messy 2-year cycle with all that Treyarch CoD 2020 news. Anyway, a 4-year cycle, if they found yet another studio capable of handling a game on their own, then it's hard to say. I don't know what that extra year of dev time would do for the game. I don't like the idea of having a gap year though, and a 2-year CoD. They'd need to change up some things with how the game is designed if they wanted it to stay relevant for that long. CoD really survives based on the fact that a new one comes out each year, with a new spin on things, new stuff to learn and master, new things to earn and show off all over again. So I'm not sure about that. I'm relatively happy with the way things have been going. It'll just be interesting to see what happens next year. I'm not completely filled in on how exactly Sledgehammer and Raven allegedly dropped the ball, but it sounds like they have a lot of people able to work on it, and I don't think they'll have too much trouble having a decent multiplayer by next year. But having all the rest of the content all polished, like if they were in the middle of working on a campaign, is maybe a little scary. There's also the fact that the tail end of BO4 was a bit of a stinker to a lot of people content-wise, and if they actually call what they're dropping next year Black Ops 5, people may not have forgotten yet the negatives of BO4. I don't think BO4 was a bad game, but we're at that time of year where a lot of people are very tired of it, and the idea of BO5 maybe not the most exciting thing. That's another way that CoD stays alive. If one game ends up burning people, if there was only one CoD studio, then people might say, okay, not buying CoD next year. But with more than one, they might say, okay, Treyarch messed this one up. I can't wait for Infinity Ward to take over this year. They'll do it right. It's like the pendulum effect in elections. They just keep swapping around, so you assume the negative parts of one game might not carry forward, and you only remember the good parts of the game 3 years ago. Anywho, I'd prefer no gap year, but I guess it'd be better than a crappy rushed game. We'll see how that goes in 2020. I can't say that I'm really worried. They'll come up with something. Don't you still have to do Blackout 100%? Well, no. I don't have to do anything. You're right that I didn't do it, though. To tie in another question, what hinders me from going for it? Boredom, queue times, certain challenges? Well, it is that exactly, all 3 of those things. I know I've talked about this before, but to be fair, I don't think I covered it much in the Black Ops 4 wrap-up video where I asked for the Q&A questions. I think I went into it more in the Zombies 100%er video. Without going on for too long, yeah, it's all of that. The queue times can be not great on PC, but that isn't the biggest issue. It's okay whenever it's free to play or when there's new content. The certain challenges are the main problem because they are what cause the boredom. I don't feel like 100% is within my reach at all. If it were, then I'd have fun going for it, and I wouldn't be bored. But things like True Sniper are pretty nuts. Things like Just in Time are still bugged, I think, hopping out of a vehicle before a locked-on rocket destroys it. I was told by someone who did a bunch of testing that it only seems to work on the cargo truck, but it's really hard to make that situation happen, completely out of your control. Boats and helicopters are more likely to be locked onto anyway. And then even the challenges that are more in your control would not be fun for me. Things like the 100 wins, I think, for solo and duo and quads. I find BR games to be fun with friends, but I can't organize all those duos and quads games. Solo queuing for it wouldn't be very fun and would take forever. And getting all those solo wins is a big yikes. I'm not that good. That would not be a fun time at all. Every death would be very frustrating, cause in games, I'm not the type to get mad when I die or when I lose. It's just a game, I'm not that invested, and it isn't like I pride myself on my gaming skill. I would only get mad when I feel like I've wasted my time, and if I'm going for a challenge that requires wins, and I don't win, it's like all that time I spent amounted to nothing. I didn't have fun, I didn't make any progress, so I think I'd get pretty pissed off if I tried going for 100 wins. If the challenges were things like get 100 headshots with LMGs, get 100 headshots with pistols, and all that, that would be still time consuming, but honestly sounds like fun to me, because I could do a bunch of hot drops, and even if I just get one kill, that's another one on the pile. I'm making progress, I'm getting closer every game. That's why I was excited for Blackout Dark Matter. I was gonna go for that, but they screwed that up. So yeah, Blackout 100% would require too much time and frustration, which in turn makes it boring for me because there isn't good pacing we talked about in a challenge hunting system, and combined with the queue times, making it feel like a bit of a dead game, is just not something I want to do. That's all for now, another Q&A in the bag. How many more? Nobody knows. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you next time.